Taurus, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early February 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as usual and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for the lovely Taurus collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous, my friends. Let's shuffle it up one time, see what we got for you this week. Guys, talk to me. And yeah, we're just going to look at this first card real quick, then we'll get into the full tarot reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get this first card out. Let's get it going. Let's go. What's up with Taurus? Yeah, that card popped out quick. So we do have this Empress type figure. I feel like I might have seen this for you in recent weeks. Okay, and this could be very, very good in a Taurus reading. I do like it. It's very nurturing, loving, caring. This is a beautiful card of creation. Now, before we start peeling back all the layers on that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Have a look at this beautiful card. So we see this woman, she is hugging and holding that baby. That's why I say we think of things like fertility, abundance, blessings. This is a beautiful type of card. It's nurturing, caring, loving, all those really nice types of energy. So some of you in the coming days and weeks, you might be a little more affectionate than you normally are. Or this could be something you're craving. You might need a few big old bear hugs, and don't worry, I got you. I'll give you a couple, right? But when I see this card, I think of creation as well, manifestation. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some manifestation cards here. This is a really good card for us to start off with, regardless of what shows up within the spread itself. It's just very loving to me. So maybe Spirit might be trying to tell you, like, hey, you are loved, or your powers of creation are just like heightened in this time. Let's get you some tarot cards. We're going to get you 3 in the upright before we get the intuitive, juicy stuff. And although that first card is really nice, it doesn't make or break the reading. So it's just a little footnote for us. I always like to mention that. Let's see what we got for Taurus here, please. So, last week's reading, my friends, and you know me, I try to keep the title simple. It was titled An Unexpected Situation. There was a lot of, I don't want to say towery type of energy, but very sudden, very quick shifting type of energy in last week's reading, that a lot of you could be dealing with things that came out of nowhere or blindsided you. There was a little essence of mystery in last week's reading. So we'll see if that's still sticking around, right? Hopefully if you did have anything unexpected pop up, it was a good thing. But let's get you 3 cards here. And as you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your energy or somebody else's. That's right. You know the deal. Okay, so we have Temperance. Interesting dynamic that we're starting off with right away. Okay, so this could either be 2 people in different modes. We got Temperance, we got the 9 of Swords, or this could be Spirit trying to calm you. There's something here to do with anxiety. We're going to have to really talk about this, Taurus, because Temperance and 9 of Swords, there's a comforting here. And we were seeing it with this first card as well, like needing some sort of comfort or reassurance. There could be someone you're connected to that's really needing that. Let's get you one more. And I don't want to get too intuitive just yet, but yeah, Hanged Man. Something might really, really need to settle down, okay? Especially if things have been a little hectic or wild for you recently. Let me just straighten these cards out, then we'll get down to business. But when I see things like the Temperance and then the Hanged Man, these are cards of needing to pump the brakes on something. Let's go through and I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get the juicy intuitive stuff. So the way the energy is flowing is on the extreme ends, we have 2 of this like stop moving, stop everything type of cards, right? Patience, of course, but these are not movement based. So I really want to clarify them. And then in the center, we have the 9 of Swords, very stress-inducing type of energy. So we want to see what all this is about. But in position number 1, Temperance, a card that represents Sagittarius. So when I see Temperance, of course, I can think about spiritual protection from our guides, our spirit team. This is Archangel Michael on this card. It's very connected to spirit. I like it. But it does speak about needing to have a little patience or needing to refrain from something. And with the 9 of Swords right next to it, this really does feel like needing some reassurance or soothing. Like somebody might need some sort of soothing here. In the center, and we're just going to keep moving forward. I don't want to spend too much time there until we clarify. We have the Nine of Swords. This card to me, and you see the imagery there, is a card that could speak about your sleep. So a lot of you could be having a little insomnia. You could be having a tough time sleeping. Maybe there's someone you're connected to that can't sleep for whatever reason. This is an extremely nervous type of energy. It's high strung. So we really want to clarify this and see what it's about. It's like someone who's extremely anxious, on edge type of vibes here. Now, I do also say this. The Nine of Swords is one of my cards of the paranormal. Okay, so when I see it next to an angelic card, I will say a lot of you could be having like paranormal experiences in this time. Like even if you're not super sensitive, you could be experiencing a little more than you normally do in regards to the paranormal. Now, as we move to the back end, we have the Hanged Man, another card that is stopped. This isn't a bad card. It could represent a Scorpio in your life. It could even represent a Virgo, according to which reader you're watching. But this is something that is at a full halt, a full stop, like stop pumping the gas. Let's just keep this as is, or stop something in its tracks. Now, there could be something you are retreating from, pulling back from. There could be something you're analyzing or you need to take a closer look at when we have the Hanged Man. It can also be somebody that takes one for the team as well, because this card can represent self-sacrifice in a way, like where it's somebody who sacrifices their happiness for the betterment of others, right? Like caring about others more than you care about yourself. So we really want to see what this card is. We're just going to put the Hanged Man down right here. Okay, and I want to dive deeper on all of this, Taurus. Let's do that, my friends. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here and see what we got for you, my friends. Talk to me, my God. It's interesting because like with the stopped energy on the ends, I really want to get more detail. What do we got for Taurus? Different than recent weeks, but yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation. I'm just giving you mine. Let's see what's up with Temperance. Okay. And if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why this box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Taurus, you could drop it in the comments down below. I don't mind at all. All right, why is Temperance here for Taurus? Maybe you got an angel on your shoulder. Maybe there's someone watching out for you. I mean, that could absolutely be it. Okay, Two of Swords in reverse. Okay, yeah, I'm getting this empathy here. Like either feeling bad for somebody, like either you're feeling bad for someone or someone could be like feeling bad for you in some sort of way. This is giving me that empathetic type of energy. Two of Swords in reverse. This is a card of mystery, like I said, was showing up last week. But when we see it in reverse, yeah, this is like a veil lifting of some sort. Intuitively, the main thing I'm feeling here is empathy. And that's what Spirit just giving me, empathy, empathy, empathy. So you might need to hear that you could be very much more sensitive to energies of those around you in this time, okay? Or the people that are in the room, or certain locations you go to where they feel very heavy. Your empathy could be extra heightened in this time. I feel like that's a big message a lot of you need to hear with the Two of Swords in reverse. But you might feel bad for somebody, or someone might be feel bad for what they've done as well. Like this is giving me apologetic, yes, but it's kind of giving me like, I feel bad for that person. Do with that what you will, my friends. But I'm just going to keep moving, all right? Maybe you feel bad about how something shook out, situation, but we're gonna keep it moving, okay? We're not going to get hung up there. It is what it is. But for a lot of you, the veil could be lifting. Let's see what's up with that Nine of Swords. Why is that Nine of Swords there? Just remember, I was saying this was a very wound tight type of energy. Yeah, so some of you might be connected to a fire sign here, and there's somebody that can't quite control their mind, their thoughts. There's way too much mental energy going around in somebody's head right now. That's why I see the King of Wands under the Nine of Swords. It's the fire-air combination, right? You know, whenever I see these combos, I say, yeah, that could be a little bit combustible. This is somebody that is letting their mind get the best of them, and that combustible energy is working through somebody's brain. So if that is you, if you've been thinking a lot, if you've been anxious, if you've been nervous, you can't sleep because your mind is going, I can suggest that you do meditation. I can suggest that you do this or get your energy out, go do some exercise, go to the doctor, whatever it might be. But this is absolutely somebody who, and I don't mean it like in a dangerous way, but this is somebody who has lost like complete or most of the control of their thought process. Okay, so there is a risk of that in the coming days and weeks, that your mind might get the better of you. You know, when you start thinking about things and your mind spirals, that's kind of what I'm picking up here. Whether this is a fire sign you're linked to that is going through the spirals, or because when I see the King of Wands, I think of someone who's controlling their passion, controlling their fire and motivation. Under this Nine of Swords, it's just feeling like this person can't get a grip of that for whatever reason, like the focus is in the wrong place. So this could be somebody that is very much nervous or anxious. Okay, let's move over to the Hanged Man and see what's up with that. Then we'll do a quick little recap. Interesting spread this week, Taurus. Maybe you do need a few hugs, all right? Okay. Yeah, and now, if that is you, if that describes you, this is not like the time you want to be trying to like manifest and create things. When we have the Magician in reverse underneath the Hanged Man, this could be Spirit saying like, if this isn't you, if it's another person, they really, really need to stop something or pump the brakes on something until they regain control. All right, so take from that what you will. When I see the Magician, yes, I think of manifesting, spiritual, it's great, but in reverse, it's somebody who either wants control or has lost control. It could also represent dark spirituality, so watch out for that. Try not to dabble in things like that in this time. But under the Hanged Man, like the way this energy is feeling is like the brakes need to be pumped. Like something needs to be stopped until more control is gained. And if it is all in regards to somebody's mental state, it makes sense to me. It totally does. But now is not the time to try to like create things or shake things up, make big changes. Now is the time to let things settle down. Okay, so maybe that's some advice that you might need to give somebody else. Like, all right, take a breath for a minute. And I know that's not like the Taurus collective to like try to force things or do this, do that, run wild. That's not a Taurus trait. But you might need to give this advice to somebody else because somebody is like running wild here. This is like running amok. But let's go through and do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow card. In position number 1, we do have Temperance with the Two of Swords in reverse. So this can talk about a veil of some sort lifting. But the big things I was feeling here was a focus on one's empathy. Energies could be affecting you in a very big way. You could be extra sensitive to places and certain people. That was just continuously given to me. But that veil lifting, and there's a little feeling bad for somebody, whether you're feeling bad for another or somebody feeling guilty or bad for you. Moving to the center, we have the Nine of Swords with the King of Wands in the upright. To me, this does feel like somebody that has started to spiral, right? Like they're nervous, they're anxious, they're very much spiraling in the mental capacity, like they've lost some sort of control. And we pick it up as we move forward too. Lots of little sprinklings of fire and air here, especially with Saggy here, the King of Wands. Like you see the fire, air playing with each other. So it is volatile. Moving to the back end, we do have the Hanged Man with the Magician in reverse. Now is not the time for this individual to be shifting things, changing things, trying to bring new things out. They need to calm it down. They need to pump the brakes. They need to stop something for the time being. Absolutely do not dabble in any sort of dark spirituality in this time as well. Like no curses, hexes, nothing like that. Please take a screenshot. I'm gonna get you one shadow card. This, I mean, only take it if it hits, my friends. I know we're really zoning in and it was getting particular there. You could watch your other alignments. You know the deal, but this is very specific. Let's see what's going on. What's in the shadows? Let's see if we get any more clues here. What's going on with Taurus, please? What is in the shadows for my friends? And we're just going to pull this last card to put a cherry on top. And yeah, there it is, the Hanged Man again. Know when to say enough is enough. Could be something that comes to mind. A lot of you might feel like you're trying too hard to get something moving, but the Hanged Man, a lot of the things I was already speaking about, specifically if you're connected to Scorpio or Virgo, something like that, this is a card of analyzing, stopping, just letting something work through its course. With this in the shadow, Spirit could be saying like, hey, there's something you're not quite seeing yet. You need to analyze this a little more. You need to look at the details when the Hanged Man is in the shadows. It could also talk about not being stubborn and things like that, but the Hanged Man is stopped. So if all the things I was saying were resonating for you, you know what needs to be stopped in this time. And that's why the Hanged Man is showing up again, because it's spirit reiterating, like, hey, that Hanged Man energy, it needs to be looked at and needs to be followed in this time. So Taurus, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the February subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the January subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this week's Fire and Air readings. But for February, I've decided to run it back. Once again, we're doing 2 copies of the most adorable deck in all the land, the Smith Tiny Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments which card from this week's reading you thought was most adorable. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of February, the winners will be in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you next time.